Hi, I'm Todd, back for another session of Getting Fit Over 55. Today we're going to talk about buying dumbbells. You may not think there's much to think about when buying dumbbells, but there are. My goal here is to inform you before you go out and spend your money on them. Dumbbells are used in many of Beachbody's programs, and the more advanced the programs, the more likely you'll use them. The first thing you want to think about is whether they feel comfortable in your hands. Yeah, I understand that comfort and dumbbells aren't two concepts that generally come to mind, but there are differences, and that can make them more comfortable and therefore less likely to give you a reason not to pick them up in the first place. Think of it this way. If the weight is uncomfortable in your hand, the chances are lower that you'll use them to do an exercise. I know, I've been there. I've used that as an excuse. But that's what we're talking about here. Now, there are 5 types of dumbbells available. Traditional cast iron, rubber-covered cast iron with contoured handles, neoprene or vinyl-covered, adjustable dumbbells, and plated dumbbells. I have examples of 4 of the 5 types here. I don't own any adjustable dumbbells because I own a full set of the other ones. But I'll show them to you anyway, so you know what they look like. Standard traditional dumbbells have cast iron bells with a straight handle. You can find these in nearly any kind of sporting goods store, Walmart, Target, and even online. These tend to be the least expensive dumbbells you can buy. Now, you might see some other cast iron dumbbells that have small plates that make up the weights. Sometimes they get pretty big. You'll see these in gyms and even in some of the Beachbody workout videos. Just know that if you're on a budget, those probably aren't going to be the weights you want to buy. So what are the pros of these? They're your cheapest option for traditional dumbbells, and they do the job. Generally speaking, they're about $1 a pound. Now, the cons are if your hands aren't particularly meaty or you're older, these handles can be uncomfortable when you use them, especially if it's a plank exercise where you're putting all of your weight from your hands down onto the handles. Also, if you drop them, and you're gonna, they will damage whatever surface you're working out on. Metal doesn't bounce very well, so we'll talk about more on that in a minute. The second type are rubber-covered dumbbells. These are the same design as cast iron, only they have rubber on the ends, and they usually have the contour handles that you can see here. The contour handles, to me, make all the difference in the world. Again, if you're doing plank moves with weights and all of your body weight's on the handles, contoured handles distribute your weight better, so you have less discomfort and makes it easier to finish your reps. Now, these tend to be a few dollars more than the standard dumbbell, but it's worth it. So the pros, rubber covered, so they're going to bounce and less likely to damage floor surfaces if you drop them. Don't get me wrong, they will cause damage, but just not as much. The contour handle feels better, especially on floor moves in your hands. The cons, really, it's just that they're slightly more expensive than standard weights, typically about 10% more per dumbbell. The third type are neoprene dumbbells. Neoprene is a foam-like coating that covers the entire dumbbell. You can kind of see it here. These have straight handles. I've never seen contoured handles on neoprene, but they're covered in foam. They're going to be easier to use on the floor when you pull all your weight on them. They tend to be a little more expensive than traditional dumbbells. You're usually going to see them used by people who can't handle a lot of weight, such as those undergoing physical therapy. The heaviest ones I've seen is 20 pounds. You can also find them in vinyl, and if it matters to you, come in colors. Pros, easy on the hands, fairly inexpensive. A full set of 1 to 12 pound weights will run you about 20 bucks. Not 20 bucks, 90 bucks. The cons, limited weights. If you think about the vinyl ones, they can get slippery when your hands get sweaty, but you won't have that much of a problem with neoprene. The fourth type are adjustable dumbbells. These are dumbbells that allow you to select weight by turning a knob or sliding a handle. The market leaders here are Bowflex and PowerBlock. Bowflex has 3 models, the 552, that's from 5 to 52 pounds, 560 model is 5 to 60 pounds, and the 1090 is 10 to 90 pounds. Get it? You can get a pair of 552s for about 300 bucks. The 560s have some Meat Tech in them. They're about 500 bucks, and the 1090s are 600 bucks a pair. Power Block has Pro, Sport, Power Block, and Classic models that max out at 32, 50, 70, and 90 pounds. You can get expansion kits for all of them that will max the weights at 70 or 90. Now, I know people who have both of these and they love them. But here's the thing for older folks. If you drop them, you're going to break them. Now, here are screenshots from their manuals that specifically mention dropping them voids the warranty. What this means is if you can control them and you can put these weights down gently, meaning not dropping them 6 inches, these can be valuable options for you. If not, you're probably better off buying just dumbbells, even though they're going to be more expensive for the full set. Another factor is their size. You can see photos here. They're larger than standard dumbbells, and depending on your wrist strengths and the type of lifting you'll do, that may become a problem. Again, look at the photos and you can see the differences. Another factor is it takes time to change the weight. So for programs where you have 15 seconds to change or up weights, like in Lift 4, either of these are going to put you behind. If you're okay with that, then fine. But you need to remember that factor to factor in that time when you're doing workouts. Now, both companies make stands that allow you to put them down at waist height, but that's going to add 70 to 170 bucks. Kind of sounds worth it to me. So, pros, cheapers for the total amount of weight you get, takes up less room in your workout area. Cons, you can't drop them. Changing weight's going to take time, and it's going to make it harder for you to keep up with some of the workouts. Now, the last type are small plates on short handles. These are the same plates you use with barbells. Here's an example of one with a screw-on clamp. They're also kind of squeezy, kind of spring-loaded clamps you can get. Price is pretty low, about $3 for 2 pounds, up to 45 bucks for 45 pound plate. But you're probably not going to be curling 90 pounds. So you see these around a lot. Again, just remember that it's going to take time to change these weights. So if you're looking to go from 10 to 20 pounds in 15 seconds, ain't happening. So another factor is if you've got arthritis and you can't really move your hands that well, it's going to be a problem. The other thing is that if you don't tighten them down, these things are going to rattle around, and if they're not balanced right, it's going to drive you crazy. So the pros, that they're dumbbells, you can use weights with barbells. Cons is that it takes a long time to change the weights. They tend not to be very stable, and you need to make sure that you have the right clamps for the bars. Now, the last thing I want to mention in all of this is floor surface. Because like I said, if you drop them, you're going to damage the floors, whether it's hardwood, concrete, whatever. I see people working out on carpet, hardwood tile without any kind of padding, and I don't know how they do it. My joints would bother me from the shock. So here's a little image of me dropping a 10-pound weight on the padded floor, and here's one dropping it on concrete. So you see the difference. My recommendation is to buy the 3/4 inch gym flooring and put it down. It's a smart investment, protects your floors and your joints. You can get 24 square feet for about 30 bucks at most sporting goods stores. My gym, I have 3 packages of them on the floor. You can see this picture and you can see for yourself. Don't buy the 1/2 inch. They're not thick enough, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of plyo. Here are my shopping tips. 1, decide where you're going to work out and pick an appropriate surface. If you need to, put a padded surface on it. 2, decide which handle size is the most comfortable for you. If you're not sure, probably the best thing I can tell you to do is get down on the floor with them in the store and try doing, push-ups with the weights underneath your hands. Buy only the weights that you're going to use. If you don't need a full set of 5 to 50 pounds, don't worry about it. Just add more as your strength increases. Shop, because Amazon and Walmart aren't always the cheapest places. Some online stores will deliver locally, and that'll save your shipping costs, and will also put money back in the local economy. Adjustable dumbbells are great if they work for you and you don't drop them. If you are going to drop them, don't buy them. Their warranty won't cover drops. So there you go. I hope you found this review useful. Let me know if you have any questions or suggestions. The next video we'll look at other gym equipment you need for Beachbody. So thanks for watching. See you next time.